In the olden days, before people had cell phones, there used to be these things called phone booths. They were glass and metal closets about 3 feet by 3 feet by 7 feet. That's 1 meter by 1 meter by 2 1/3 meters tall, if you prefer metric. And they contained a public telephone that you put coins in to make a call. A silly prank was to see how many people could fit into a phone booth. The phone booth stuffing record is 25 people. That sounds very uncomfortable. It also made it impossible to talk on the phone. Too many people involved in a conflict can also feel very squishy.
Kids Ask Dr. Friend!
Hi there, I'm Dr. Eileen Kennedy Moore, also known as Dr. Friendtastic. I'm an author and clinical psychologist based in Princeton, New Jersey. Each week on the Kids Ask Dr. Friendtastic podcast, I answer a question from a kid about making and keeping friends. If you have a question you'd like me to answer, you can send it in at drfriendtastic.com/submit. That's drfriendtastic.com/submit. Here's today's question.
Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm 8 years old, and I have a question for you. What do you do if you and one of your friends are having a fight, and then your other friends try to get involved?
Hi, Grace. Thanks for sending in your question. That sounds like a very frustrating situation. Let's first try to imagine why your other friends might be trying to get involved in your conflict. One possibility is that they're just nosy and they want to be in the know about whatever drama is happening. Just like watching a sports game, it can be exciting to watch an argument, judge who's winning, and root for one side. Another possibility is that they care about you and they're trying to be helpful. Their intention is kind, but having more people and more opinions involved in a conflict makes it bigger. Just like an overstuffed phone booth, too many people squeezing into an argument gives you less room to move. So, how can you handle this? Well, start by thinking about if you might have accidentally encouraged those people to get involved. If you really want to keep a conflict just between you and one other person, the simplest way to do that is to avoid discussing it with anyone else. Keeping disagreements private can be a kind thing to do. Everyone makes mistakes, and no one likes to have their mistakes announced broadly. Telling other people what your friend did wrong might embarrass her or hurt her reputation. Now, sometimes, if you're involved in a difficult conflict, you might want to talk it over with someone else to get emotional support or maybe some perspective or advice. That's understandable, and it might be helpful, but think carefully about who you talk to and what you say. So you might decide to talk with one other person who would keep it private, but not everyone you know. If you decide to talk things over with someone who isn't involved, you might want to focus on the observable facts of what happened, your role in the problem, and what you could do next. That's more likely to be helpful than just complaining about the other person in the conflict or passing judgment on her by saying she's bad or mean or stuck up. Name-calling is unkind. Also, we can't control other people. We can only control what we do. But what if you don't want to talk about the conflict with anyone else, but they want to talk about it with you and get involved or take sides? In that case, you might need to tell them clearly and politely to back off. You could say, "I'd rather not talk about that," or "This is between me and her. It doesn't involve anyone else." If you think they're trying to be kind, you could say, Thanks for your concern. I know you're trying to help, but this is something we need to handle ourselves. If they keep asking, you can keep repeating that you don't want to talk about it. The best way to shut down unwanted conversations about the argument might be to talk directly to the other person in the conflict so the two of you can work things out. Try to find a private moment so you don't have audience participation. You might want to start by saying you're sorry for whatever you did to contribute to the conflict and tell her what you're going to do differently from now on. You might also want to explain how you felt when she did whatever upset you and ask for what you'd like her to do moving forward. Figuring out together how to move past a friendship rough spot could help your friendship become even stronger. This has been Kids Ask Dr. Friendtastic. You can learn even more about friendship through my funny and practical books for kids. Growing Friendships, a kid's guide to making and keeping friends, and Growing Feelings, a kid's guide to dealing with emotions about friends and other kids. They're available through your library or wherever you buy books.